The more we can educate officers and give them the tools that they need to interact with people of every ethnicity and every race, I think the better off the profession will be.
The positive impact and benefits of college-educated officers has been widely researched throughout the years. And even though statistics show that college-educated officers perform better and use less physical force, many police departments at the local level do not require a college education.
What was most surprising to me in my research when it came to college-educated police officers are the statistically significant numbers that show benefits of a college education in policing. There are dramatic increases in satisfaction ratings, as well as dramatic differences in the propensity for police officers who are not college educated to use force more often.
In his study, Dr. Vespucci analyzed the college education of 410 participants from 143 police departments across 6 states. Of the 410 participants, 127 did not earn a college degree, whereas 283 officers indicated that they earned some type of college degree. His findings show that officers without a college degree used force 57.4% more often.
A police academy can tell you how to do the job, but they can't exactly tell you how to deal with the situations that you're going to be facing, right? I'm not saying that a police officer without a college education can't be a good police officer, but generally speaking, college-educated officers perform better in a lot of different areas, and the research bears that out.
There's a civil service process in many municipalities in the state of New Jersey. In a civil service municipality, you're governed by the rules of civil service that say in order to be a police officer, you have to be 18 years old and have a high school diploma or a GED. And those are the rules. And I would argue that's a great place to start. There's a lot of people who love the civil service process, and there are some benefits to the civil service process, but I would argue that there's plenty of room for repair or improvement to the civil service process, and I think that would be one of them.
When comparing the educational requirements with those of other countries, the United States requires significantly less education than many other developed nations.
It is a bit embarrassing to see what other departments, especially European countries, do require. Finland, Norway, 3 years of a police college, whereas a police officer would go through the academic training followed up by field training and then back into the classroom to review what they've learned on the street. America is the high point of diversity, and we have a gun culture here in America like no other, as well as our violence rates and imprisonment rates. So when we think about educating our police officers, our education for American policing should far surpass other European countries that do not even face the same challenges that we face here in America.
There is a nationwide call to defund the police, which will ultimately reallocate funding from police departments to other essential community services. So does that mean that people going into the police force have to be better educated from the get-go, considering that they're going to be joining many police departments that are ultimately defunded?
That's a very good question. Okay, when we address the issue of defunding the police and police reform, this call for defunding the police can in fact be very problematic. The idea of privatization of some services, okay, such as parking enforcement, such as emergency medical services calls, as well as drug addiction or drug overdose calls, can in fact, okay, benefit from having people with training to respond to those calls. However, if we equip the police officer themselves with that knowledge and education, they can essentially deal with these problems in the same manner that professionals from the private sector would be able to benefit from.
Everybody has to take a deep breath. And trust me, nobody knows better than me the struggles that African Americans have had here in the United States over the last 400 years. Trust me that my mother made sure that I was aware of that. But at the same time, we have to come to the table. You know, I've been in law enforcement for over 34 years, and I've not seen it as polarized as it is today. You know, and we cannot have an us versus them mentality, because that's not going to move us forward. And we have to move forward. The police need the community, and the community needs the police.